Alright, so we're doing Euphrosyne, the Alliance raid, second Alliance raid in Endwalker. So the first thing for this raid is should go to System and HUD Layouts and look for the status info windows, right? When you click on the small cog here, you have to be in the mode split into three groups. And in the status info, enfeeblement, put at 200% and make sure this enfeeblement is in the middle of your screen. Why do we do that? Is because we want to make sure that we can see the enfeeblement. That will be quite important in the first fight, where the boss is going to put some debuff on us that we have to be aware of.
No true abundance.
Alright, so far not much has happened. There's a few areas at the beginning. And now the first mechanic comes, you see the roses around the boss here. It shows that they're going to be like a point blank attack, and now it's going to show the thorn around the boss. So for the thorn, you have to be close to the boss. You're going to do a big donut around, right? So remember, thorn, you have to be close. Roses, you have to be away. It's something that's going to come back regularly from the entire fight. Now we have more red-white AoEs here. Okay, for the first mechanic, you have to be on a free square and move diagonal to another free square. It's quite easy, this one. This will come back later in a slightly more complex form. Alright, we have Matrons plenty, so you see this, the world of Yuna becomes dangerous. You have to avoid this border, you see that's going to hurt you. Okay, now we got, you see, first they are thorns, so we have to be close. Now we got this arrow. This arrow means that in 7 seconds we are going to be pushed toward the left in the direction of the arrow. So now there are roses, we look at the arrow, we push toward the left, and then we are at the safe zone. So you have to think about when the arrow is going to push us so that we'll be still be in the safe zone. So here the safe zone was away from the boss because the boss was doing roses. This is going to come back quite quickly in one of our upcoming mechanics.
Mine is the breath of the air.
Alright, this mechanic is quite fun. You see there's blue and yellow on the ground, and here you have some numbers. So the first one you see is blue, so you have to be on the blue part with the as it goes, and then next one is yellow, you move on the yellow part, and the third one is blue, and we move here again. Just look at what's exploding and be on the same color on the ground. So if it's blue, be on blue. If it's yellow, be on yellow.
My heart rejoices for our union.
Alright, so now we're going to have probably it's the hardest mechanic in the fight. We're going to have again another force march arrow. It's going to be in the middle of the screen. Okay, you see this time our arrow is right, so we're going to be pushed right in 15 seconds. So first we go to a free space here, and we move to another one. Right, so now we're going to be pushed right. We want to be close. So you see this as the phone, so we are close to the boss there. Now they're doing some of those arrows. So first wait on the first one that comes out. You see it moves here, right? And just you want to basically come on its path in the middle. And now you see there are roses, so we are away. We are all good here. This is probably the hardest part of the fight. You see there's many people who die. Don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. You have to look at the same time to know the ground, the force march arrow, and we're finishing with this with this another of the evil rose of thorns. One interesting thing to remember is that it's always the opposite, right? If the boss does thorn, then he will do roses and vice versa, right? He always does both. So now we start again with this color mechanic. So you see when the yellow, first one, number one is going to be yellow. So we are here on the yellow. And once the yellow explodes, it's going to be blue. So now we'll run to the blue. Next one, number 3, is yellow. We go back on the yellow. Then next one is blue. We go back on blue. And now we go back on the yellow again. And interestingly, another yellow after. So if this one is not may change in the color. So you see, you can be. Now we have a stack, tank buster, and I think the boss is dead. All right.
Good children, be strong for what awaits.
So now we have the next part of the raid is a few trash mobs. It's quite easy. There's a behemoth, which perhaps is slightly trickier. Let me show you how to do it.
By my authority, let the land be remade.
All right, it's nothing special with those toad and those trees. Just wait for the tank to grab them and then AoE. A few AoE to avoid. It's quite easy. Just about the AoEs. Sorry. Now the next part is the behemoth, but before that we have three those Ktenos. So the Ktenos eat quite hard, so I think it's good for one tank to take one each. And also they have a pretty strong AoE, so that the healer need to heal through. Alright, so we're going to arrive to the only a bit tricky part here, which is the behemoth. So for the behemoth, you see this big orange circle. You go far away from the circle to the south. The behemoths arrive. I think if you're range, you can attack from there. And the behemoth is going to drop a stack marker on the ground pretty soon. No stack marker, actually, a meteor marker. See, there's a meteor marker here. You have to be far from it. And now you run to once explode, you run toward the behemoth because you have to be on the side or behind him when he stands up like this. If you're in front, you're pretty sure you'll be dying. All right, so now we are with the second boss, which is the Attic and Nemea. So this boss has variants. Nemea can either do some a gaze mechanic or a cold and hot mechanic. So I think the system is similar for both, but you know, just be aware it may be slightly different than you've seen the video in yours. So okay, you can attack either of the two bosses. Doesn't make any difference because they equalize their life during the fight. But most people tend to attack Altic. So we have the fire mechanic. So you see our card as the red fire. If there was eye mechanic, we will go an eye. The fire means we have to stop moving and attacking, and we wait until this debuff periodic goes away, right? So when you have the fire on you, you stop moving and you stop attacking, and it will resolve itself. All right, again, this time the fire is there. And we have a little countdown. It's going to come up. 3, 2, 1. Just stop attacking. Do nothing. And this time, priority goes away. You can attack again. Alright, so now I think put those those black things on the ground. You have to be away from them, except when he has a special attack where you have to be on them. So the exonerable pull, you have to be on the black. See these arrows coming out from the ground. Alright, now it's finished, you leave the black. Don't be on the black because the black slows you and gives you a debuff. If you stay on the black, you're alive. Okay, so now wave mechanic, you have to be next to the blue, and then when this appears, in the middle. Right, so this one, when you see this wave, you have to start in the middle, be next to it, and as soon as the mechanic starts, you rush toward the middle. Alright, so now I think Anemia are starting what is probably the most tricky mechanic of this fight. That will come just after. You see there's numbers here, 1, 2, 3. Those are going to be to push in order, so we go next to number 1. And we want to be pushed towards number 2, so we're going to be a bit on this side, so that when we are pushed toward number 2, then we are going to be pushed toward number 3, and now just make sure you push somewhere in the middle, right? So this is probably again, as I mentioned, the most tricky mechanic in this fight. Look at the numbers 1, 2, 3, and then focus in being pushed to the next one. So this will come back again. Okay, so now Nemea is doing us the mechanic, but now you see the fire, the card is reversed, so it's no longer fire, it's ice. So to avoid ice, you need to move all the time. So it's the opposite of fire, you need to move. You can attack, you need to move. So attacking low is not enough, you just need to move. Let's see, I'm moving. Arrive, and now the blitz. You see, if you don't move, you're frozen like those two people here, and then you take the attack, and typically you die. Alright, Travis. Alright, now we have a spread. Attack stack here. Alright, now is the second time we're doing the same thing, but now there's going to be a trick to it. The numbers are going to come up. Now it's 1, 2, 3, but the one, number 1 actually would be the one marked with this one. So it's going to become number 1. Numbers are going to change. So we start with here. It's number 1 and number 2 there. Push now number 3, and here we push in the middle. So this is again the same mechanic as earlier, but the numbers are going to change at the last second. So you have to be next to the one with the clock. The one where I think next to the clock will become number 1. Alright, another card. This time, see, I have high, some people have fire. So depending if you, and also you had the middle wave mechanic coming back at the same time. This is just a repeat of the same mechanics, but combined. Alright. Now we're moving to the last trash part of the raid, which is quite easy. We're going to fight those ice monsters. I mean, they have a lot of AoE, so stay away. Otherwise, no backer difficulty. As I mentioned, as you can see, a lot of AoEs. Nothing special here, just avoid the AoEs. See, there can be many of them. after that, we'll just have the last two bosses, which is Aloni and Venfilia.
Summon your courage and press on.
Bit of running in between. All right. Please. And it's a pretty interesting fight. Lots of things happen. Lots of different things.
I, the Fury, shall test your strength of spirit.
All right. So nothing special at the beginning. Rain of Spears. That's AoE. Alright, I think we're going to see the first interesting mechanic of the fight. It's called Tetragogos. So we have to look what Aloni does. So she raises a spear and she sees it's going to be a close, then it's right, then it's left, and then it's a donut. She's going to be doing the same thing. So first it's closed, and then right, and then left, and then donut. Right? You just redo what you just did, but in a much faster way. So we'll see it again. Two Japagos coming. So this time is going to be donuts, and then left, and then center, and then right. So we start in the middle. Donuts, left, center, and right. So you see. Now you have to spread out in three groups in this towers. To be on the tower, make sure you're on one of them. Faster. All right, so now if you look at these red things, you have to be on the other side of the red circle. So the red circle appear around the boss, and they're going to contract somewhere. You have to be in the opposite side. Again, the red, you see they are going to finish here. We have to be on the opposite side. See, this attack an entire half arena, so you absolutely have to be on the other side. You cannot go away and hope to avoid it. It has to absolutely have to be on the other side. All right, so now we have this yellow arrow. So you see, this one is going to attack those two. This one's going to attack those two. So you have to be in the correct quarter, right? Again, only one quarter is safe of the arena, so you have to look for the spears. Okay, Will of the Fury. Fury. Sorry. So you have to be there at the border and then move on the side. So Will of the Fury, you have to be look at the red border. You have to be there and move on the side. It will happen again. It's not hard. You just need to be ready to move and move quickly at the border when the red market, when the red kind of ground market appears. All right. So now we're going to an add phase. We have to split into three groups. So we'll go in this one. Well, there's not many people on this one. Okay, so here we attack middle pillars. There's also spreads. So you have to be in one of the three zones. Okay, and now there's a middle pillar to destroy as well. And then you have a big attack coming. Right, and the second part of the fight begins. Now we're going to see the same mechanic mostly, but sometimes combined. Alright, again you see low cost, you have to avoid, be on the white quadrant where there's no spear in front. The spears are going to go here and here. At the same time we'll have the red, so the half of the arena which is there. So now only 1/8 of the arena is safe. You have to avoid both the spears and the red circles. Right, some spreads. Will of the Fury. Okay, again. So you go at the border next to the red. You wait, the red disappears, and you go to the border, and you wait there until the middle meteor marker disappears.
Yes, lose yourself in the joy of battle.
Okay, to Topagos again. It's going to be donuts. Right. Up. And again, you have to be on the right side of the circle. So again, she the same thing. She does it to Topagos, but plus this added at the end the red circle again together. Any one of the tower, everyone goes on one. Rain of Spears, another red white AoE. Alright. Okay. This time is a spread and a stack at the same
All
time. You see
piercing spear drink deep of raging blizzards.
Alright, Tetrapagos again. It's going to be donuts, left, center, and right. So
For
first
glory, you must never
donuts,
surrender your all.
left, center, and right. We have a tank buster here. This fight is more or less finish.
Well fought, heroes. Your next test awaits.
Alright, now we are reaching the final boss. So this fight are also going to start with a single mechanic, and then the mechanic can be combined in the later part of the fight. So it's really the same principle as Aloni with Menfina. Uh, we'll have a few demonstration.
Dare to lead your lovers past.
Alright, so first we have a few demonstration. Blue Moon. AoE.
Behold my power!
Alright, so Lover's Light, you see the giant moon at the back. So the way it works, and you see the moon times, when the moon goes to full, it will throw an attack. So we have to be on the side, and you see the moon goes to the full moon, and then the middle is being attacked. Those moons are going to come back a number of times in the fight. Okay, now we have the second example of the mechanic, which is Midnight Frost. We see on the ground, there's a part with freezes. You have to be on the other side of the lines. all the entire half of the arena where the freezing ground is going to be attacked. Now the tank here have to spread. Don't be behind the tank. Make sure you are with the DPS at the back of the boss. There is some AoE markers following here. Alright, and now you have all those circles that appears. You have to be toward the last one. You run toward the last one because now the boss is going to do like a donut. And again, you see the part which is frozen is going to be attacked. The entire arena except next to the boss is being attacked here. Again, you have to look at the ground and see where is the frozen part. Alright, the moons are back. So you see some moons are half and some are empty. So you have to be on the empty one. And the full moon arrives, the full moon, they explode. Now you have to run toward the part which is not in the yellow, and now the two other explode. And now again, you see in the middle you have the frosty part. Again, this time we're lucky we were in the right side, but you may have to run on the other side very quickly. Okay, now this is the next part. We have some kind of a semi-ad phase here with some pillars that need to be destroyed. And there is a Goji, a Lover's Power. Basically, you have to destroy the pillar before it arrives to 100%, which is not hard, while avoiding those AoEs. Just attack the pillars. It's normally not hard to break them all. Ah, they are broken. Menfina is going to bring a wolf. Alright, now the wolf is there. Now the wolf will also have its own attack. So you see this part is where the wolf will attack and the frozen on the ground. So you have to be somewhere that avoids the half part of the wolf attacking and the frozen part, which was here. So you have to look at two things at the same time now. Both the freezing part on the ground and the wolf. Again, the wolf, you see the wolf is attacking this part of the arena and the frozen part is here, so we have to be in this eighth of the arena. Blue moon, that's the red white. Alright, a spread, we don't have anything here. Alright, Midnight Frost again, so you see the wolf is attacking here and the frozen part is here, so we go there because this is attacked by the wolf and this is attacked by Mithina. You can pause the video and look at it again. You should be able to see, where. Okay, we have two meteor markers here, so we're going to run to the opposite corner. It explodes, and now this is filled with ice. So it goes toward the middle here, and again, we have to be on the right side. So you see the wolf here. Oh no, our camera is not in the right place. Okay. We wanted to be in the middle and the right part of the arena, but here with the mouse, now it's a stack here. Okay, again the full moons. Remember, you have to go into the new moons here. You wait until those moons go to full, they explode, and then we run toward this area where they were, outside the yellow, and now those two explode. And now again, you look at again for some AoEs in the middle. Again, with another, the wolf arm is there, so you're going to attack this side. You have to be on this side of the wolf. Otherwise, it's a donut. Again, this is full bright. The moon is going to appear again. So you see the moon has appeared. You have to go outside. And again, this time we have the wolf and we have the frozen part here in the right position. But if you were on the other side, then you would have to move. We didn't have to move here because we're already at the right place. All right, there's another stack. All right, tank busters. Remember, these are line attacks. You have to be away from those. Slide. All right, again, new moons. You wait until those again full moon, they're going to explode. When they explode, you run. There, you see now, you all can see the part of the arena which is going to be attacked by the frost on the ground. More tank busters. Again, be away from those. Spread again. This time again, we have to be away from the frost and away from the arm. And this is order. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that will be helpful when you try to run Euphrosyne.